What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel. It's starting 11 prediction time for tomorrow's big game against Atalanta in Italy. It's Champions League match day 3, and we come into it off the back of a 2-2 draw with Aberdeen at the weekend. We talked about the game in detail in a post-match pint and a full-time reaction. Obviously, disappointing to drop 2 points, especially being 2-0 up at half-time. I think a lot of the analysis for the game is maybe a bit favourable to Aberdeen. They did so well to come from 2-0 down away at Celtic Park, don't get me wrong, but I think if we played that game 9 or 10 times over, we would win 70 or 80% of them. I think we created enough chances to win the game. Aberdeen done very well in terms of running the clock down, but also defending their box in the last 15-20 minutes, getting bodies on the line and making stops. I think we had 32 shots at goal. No doubt only 5 on target. We'd have liked to have been a bit more accurate, a bit more composed when we got into those attacking areas, but I think we done enough to win the game. There's no doubt we had a drop-off after half-time. And that's the thing that really killed us, really, Aberdeen back in the game. Those 2 subs they made at half-time had a really positive impact for them. And we just lost that intensity from half-time to around about 60-65 minutes. And they punished us for that. But I think we finished the game from about 70 minutes onwards. We finished the game the much stronger team. It was really entertaining. I think from a neutral point of view, it was a brilliant game. And listen, it's nice to have an action-packed game to talk about where Celtic were tested. As I say, on another day, we could and should have won it. But it was a good game, a good spectacle, and now we go to Champions League against Atalanta on Wednesday. But before we get into talking about that game, this video is brought to you by FanTeam. They are running a single match fantasy contest for Wednesday's game against Atalanta. All you have to do to get involved is click the link in the description of this video, sign up, and you'll get a free entry to the single fantasy contest for this game. All you have to do is pick 5 players from the game and you'll be in with a chance of winning the prize pool of £250. Every time Celtic score a goal in this game, FanTeam are also going to give you an extra free entry to future Celtic contests, so get involved. We did this at the weekend. I think I finished somewhere around 40th position or something, but that was enough to win some money. So if you want to get involved, there's lots of monetary prizes up for grabs, and like I say, you get a free entry if you use the link in the description to sign up, and you can compete against me and the rest of the boys in that game on Wednesday as well. So I did the preview show with Nigel yesterday from Atalanta BC News. They are in good form. They're obviously a top team. They won the Europa League last season. They were only team to beat by Leverkusen, as everybody keeps reminding us. They've got a lot of quality. Ademola Lookman is obviously the star man, but Matteo Retegui, who signed for them in the summer, has scored 8 goals in 8 games. On his arrival at the club, they've got the Catalera there as well. Lots of good attacking threats, even from the wing backs. Lots of quality all across the pitch, a team in really good form, a huge step up for us, as these away Champions League games always are. And off the back of that travesty that we had in Dortmund, there's no doubt everyone's a wee bit fragile coming into this one. Mentally, there's not a lot of confidence that we can go and get a result in this game, and that's understandable given the away record we've got in this competition and coming off the back of a result like we had in Dortmund. I think we've got to be a lot more compact. That goes without saying, than we were in Germany. But we've got to get the pressing right if we want to go and press Atalanta. And Nigel did say in the preview that maybe if we get the press right, that's one area we could get at them. But that seems like a trap that we could fall into, because if we get it wrong, they've got the quality to cut through us and absolutely kill us. So Brendan Rodgers has got to show that the team can be more compact and we can be a bit more streetwise about when we pick our moments to go and press and get after them and get close to the ball, and not end up caught in between too high defensively, and then they've got the quality to go and kill you and the pace to go and kill you up front. We really have to avoid another absolute hammer in the competition. I think you could say, if you look back at that Dortmund game, that it's really been a blow to everyone's confidence. The players particularly, I think we maybe seen that against Ross County a few days later. Obviously there's physical exertions there as well, but mentally they looked a bit low. That's understandable after losing 7-1. certainly the case for us, but there's no way we can continue to keep having these really heavy defeats away from home in the competition. We've got to show a bit of maturity. We've got to show that we've learned something, both the management and the players, to try and manage these games much better and hopefully not come out on the end of another doing. So let's look at what the Celtic team could look like on Wednesday. If we go back to Saturday's team, I think I missed it by one, and that was because Cameron Carter-Vickers didn't take part. I backed him to come back in, but he wasn't involved at all. So in goals, no doubt it's going to be Kasper Schmeichel. I touched on in the build-up to Saturday's game, he didn't have the best international break, and I think that continued a wee bit on Saturday. We obviously had that third Aberdeen goal that was ruled out for handball, which comes from all our own doing, really. It comes back to Kasper, and he dwells on it for too long. He passes it to Trusty, and we end up losing it in the corner, giving away a free kick, which Aberdeen scored from, but it was ruled out for Duke's handball. I think, again, you can go back to that Dortmund game. Losing 7 goals is not good for anybody's confidence, particularly the goalkeeper. And maybe his form has just suffered a wee bit since that night in Dortmund. He's going to have a big night tomorrow to get anything from this game, that's for sure. Johnson at right back. It's the big one at centre half. Is Cameron Carter-Vickers going to be involved? I spoke to Martin about this outside the stadium on Saturday. He seemed quite optimistic that we might just have been not risking Carter-Vickers for the Aberdeen game with a view to starting him here. I hope that is the case, but I don't think it will be. I think Trusty is going to have to start alongside Scales, and Valle will complete the back four. It's a big one. Obviously, it's the big area of the team right now that everybody's questioning. I don't think Trusty has settled well at all. You do have to accept that he's a left-sided defender playing on the right-hand side. It's rare to have 2 left-sided defenders in there at centre-half, but there's no doubt that Trusty has struggled so far. He certainly doesn't look anywhere near the player of Carter-Vickers. So if Carter-Vickers is to come in to the lineup for this game, it'd be brilliant. It'd be a huge boost for everybody. It might not be enough to make the difference between winning and losing, or getting a point and losing, but there's no doubt you'd expect us to be a bit more composed, a bit more controlled defensively with Carter-Vickers in there compared to without him. But think about how long he's been out now. That's a good 3 or 4 weeks he hasn't played for. Can he be thrown into a game like this and expected to perform at the highest level? That's the big question mark. That's why I went for Trusty. Let's hope the big man is fit. In midfield, I'm going McGregor, Engels and Hatate. Hatate obviously didn't start in Dortmund. He got a goal at the weekend. I thought he had a good first half, did tire in the second. I just think he might get the nod in terms of trying to give us a bit more composure on the ball. Bernardo started in Dortmund. Would it be harsh? Let us know in the comments. Do you think it'd be harsh if Hatate started on the bench 2 Champions League games in a row? I just feel like he'll get the nod. And again, we're going to need big performances out of everyone in midfield up against the quality that Atalanta have got in that area of the pitch. And again, we really struggled to deal with Dortmund's threats in between midfield and defence, in between the lines. We just couldn't pick up Julian Brandt, and that really killed us. Atalanta are going to try and pick up similar positions, and they could hurt us. We've got to be switched on. We've got to be concentrated. We need big performances from everyone in there. Front 3, no changes. Kun, Maeda and Kyogo. Maeda obviously really tired at the weekend. He gives away the ball in the build-up to Aberdeen's equaliser. Not a good day for him at all. We definitely need him in terms of his defensive work in these games. We're going to be up against it. The quality Atalanta have got even in the wing-back areas mean that Maeda's going to have to do a lot of running, a lot of pressing defensively. So we need that energy that he brings to the team, and hopefully he's in a better physical shape than he was on Saturday, just off the back of travelling and playing some minutes for Japan. So hopefully he's in better shape. Kyogo through the middle. Might we go for Ida? In terms of having a presence and a focal point to just hit the ball up to and get us up the pitch and relieve some pressure, I don't know. I doubt it. I think that pace on the counter-attack is something we'll look to use. But again, making that effective at this level is the big problem. It's the big question mark. We had that front 3 in Dortmund, and they barely touched the ball. Kyogo might never have touched the ball actually in Dortmund. I don't remember it. I don't remember him being involved at all. That's the big problem for us when we come to this level. Can we get these guys involved further up the pitch, and can we get the team into dangerous areas? That's the question mark that we haven't shown away from home so far. And I think defensively we have to be a lot more compact as a collective. And like I say, the manager's got to get things right in terms of telling the team when they can press and getting them to sit tight and defend and get bodies on the line, and keep the ball out of the net. That's the big thing. We have to prevent this from being another embarrassing scoreline. That's a lineup I think you'll go with. You can let me know if you disagree in the comments below. We're going to Italy tomorrow. We're the only Celtic fan channel bringing you content from the stadium after every Celtic game, home, away, and in Europe. Please subscribe so you don't miss any of it, and we'll see you in Bergamo tomorrow. Thank you.